Are you flourishing? Are you working to your strengths? You know, no one can flourish on their own. You've got to have someone to help you flourish. Hi folks, this is Mary Scott from Wealth with Passion. Just standing here in my, near my pool and in my garden today, thinking about flourishing, looking at the veggie patch. You can't see it, it's just out of sight. How it's flourishing even though it's winter here. How things flourish, how the garden flourishes. And then it got me thinking, well, what would it mean if we really committed to flourishing? I was fortunate, I did a global team call with a very good colleague of mine yesterday, and we talked about flourishing, and I thought, that's a good subject to share here with you. So flourishing, what does it mean? I think firstly, flourishing, you have to decide you want to flourish. That's so important. It all starts with that decision, yes. And I think you actually have to say that, I choose to flourish. Because there is so many people out there who choose not to flourish. So it has to be firstly a decision that you make, that you will flourish. You will flourish regardless of crazy times like this or adversities, or, you know, sometimes choosing not to flourish takes us down that slippery slope, doesn't it? And the thing about the slippery slope is when you get up and shake yourself off, what you choose to do with that. So I think flourishing is important. I actually like the word as well, flourishing. It's got quite a flow to it, and it's got quite a resonance with it, I think. Now, one thing about flourishing is, well, in order for it to happen, I guess, is that you have to be looking from a positive perspective. You have to be optimistic. You have to want it to happen. The other thing is you have to have fun. Hardly a day goes by when I don't have fun. It could be I'm laughing at myself for some of the things that I do, and I do a bit of that. It could be laughing at something funny I see, you know. I've got birds here today just chirping, and some of them hang upside down in the palms as they wave in the breeze, and I think that's funny sometimes. It just depends on your perspective. The other thing I think about flourishing is it's about appealing from the best part of you to the best part of someone else. And this is a lesson I learned a long time ago when I was a psychotherapist. I remember listening to this therapist. I think it was some sort of YouTube thing or something, was talking about, you know, how to interact with your clients, especially if you're new in the business, being a psychotherapist. And he was saying, and that was a whole different notion for me, about appealing from the best part of you to the best part of your client. And I love that. That really has caused me to contemplate my what should I say, the relationship, not only between therapist and client, I think doctor, patient, nurse, patient, there's all those kind of relationships that challenge us, our own personal relationships. You know, are we appealing from the best in us to the best in them? That's something to think about, isn't it? But firstly, once you've done that, once you're really appealing from that place in you, you'll always see good in things. Well, I believe you will. There's mostly in my life, any adversity, there usually comes something really cool, a great learning. It could be a vertical learning curve, I might say. However, from most adversity, I've always managed to flourish. And I'm wondering what your take on all this is, you know, about flourishing. Firstly, you've got to choose it. You can't expect to flourish on your own. My earlier example about the garden, like, we nourish the garden, we give it fertilizer, we love it, we enjoy the flowers, we go with the seasons. And I think we are absolutely the same. So you can't expect to flourish without the support of others. Many people have tried, I believe, and maybe some of you of them have actually succeeded. You have to choose to flourish, you have to be happy, you have to be looking at the bright side. You know, there's a song, what is it? Always look on the bright side of life. If you don't know it, it's a lovely song. There you go, laughing at myself again. How cool is that? So folks, flourish. I dare you to flourish. Write some comments about how you're flourishing, because I always like to read them. That's exciting. If you're not flourishing, I hope these little tips today help you to flourish, not only in your life and your business, your relationships. There's a lot to be flourishing about. This is Mary from Wealth with Passion. Be awesome.